New reporting by faux journalist Brandon Thurston post-wrestling, how it started, how it's going. Real journalists don't contribute to fake news because it fits their priors and narratives. They also don't do PR for a legal team. Stop calling these guys real reporters. They are spinning narratives based on personal bias. Unprofessional and dangerous to discourse. Grift less, verify reporting more. Now, expertly said. So here's Thurston coming out going, at Thurston, Brandon Thurston. Neither Janelle Grant nor her representatives were interviewed for the Mr. McMahon Netflix documentary. A spokesperson for Grant tells WrestleNomics and Post Wrestling. So we covered this on the show already, guys. Nobody, Janelle or her representatives, were interviewed for the Mr. McMahon doc. So then all the sheets, everyone just ran with it and went, oh, they didn't reach out to them. They didn't even interview them. Of course, fluff piece. Nah, dude. Look, post-wrestling, Mr. McMahon filmmakers reached out to Janelle Grant for documentary interview, but no interview materialized. You whiny marks.
Shut up, bitch.
I don't know if you guys could hear the shut up, bitch, but I'll give you another one. Because that's what happened, dude. Like, and they don't make this retraction. They don't make this big post going, oh, we thought. They just wanted to go, oh, they weren't even reached out to. And we covered it on a Sickos segment on another show as well, where someone came at me and they were like, oh, not one post about Janelle Grant. And I go, yeah, there is, bro. Look up what I have to say about Vince McMahon. Janelle Grant and them asked for privacy in all this. That's why you don't see her in interviews. You don't see their case out there. You don't see new pictures of her either. That picture that gets passed around of her is like years ago, dude, when she was like young, you know, because she wants privacy. I don't use her name to rage bait and virtue signal, concern troll, whatever term you want to use. Now, people might go, oh, come on now, Phil, the titles of your videos are rage bait. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, I got to I'm doing a podcast here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to build something here. Okay. We're building. But also, so like, yeah, I play the game, of course, but that's why I'll never cop to be in the news. I don't ever want to be like, I have a story my sources are telling me. You know what I mean, dude? I'm never going to hit you guys with something like that. I just don't do it. So, but yeah, dude, they did reach out. And the story is that this McMahon Netflix doc is going to be a 2 shovel burial or a double shovel burial or something like that. So yeah, I can't wait. But so WWE Gareth, he's very hated online in the IWC. And he goes, it's good to see he hasn't changed his ways from being a compulsive liar. He blocked me when I continued to embarrass him for being a cultist. I didn't block him. He ran away. I keep receipts, Corey. So he's been feuding with this Corey Brennan FF Fightful dude. And he goes, I'm sorry, WWE with Gareth, for wanting wrestling when we tune into a wrestling show. It's really simple. Yeah, now see, that's where I don't go at Corey. I'm never like, dude, off, you want to see more wrestling. Like, again, that's a completely subjective argument. But you can look at objective metrics and go, well, more people prefer this. And this doesn't mean that you're any more... it's happened throughout history. There's foods that like peasants would eat, and then later it becomes like royal food or like more expensive fine dining over time as well. So like, I know you guys want to call WWE McBurgers and McWWE, but it's the opposite, man. They went back to the old school of like territory styles. That's all WWE is doing, and it's working. Right? So they just went back. They went away from, they evolved with the times. Y'all are still stuck in like 7 years ago when this, 7, 8 years ago, like, you like AEW exposed a lot of people to this sort of stuff in a way that they didn't receive well. They got to realize that, like, no, you guys are devolving, right? Whereas like WWE is just going back to what was, what is now considered a delicacy or whatever. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, I believe shrimp, like royals were like, oh, that's rats of the sea. Oh, lobster. Oh, disgusting. That's like bugs. That's what they can. And then now it's like, you go for lobster. That's expensive. It's like a delicacy. And so like, fish eggs. And that used to be, people didn't eat that stuff. Now it's like considered fine, whatever. It's just like the territory. Oh, the old hokey wrestling. But now look at Punk and Drew. That's what people want. People have so much stress. There's information flying at us all day, every day. We need stories that don't insult our intelligence. We need the wrestling we know it's fake, but we need it to be not so fake that we can't, that it's like, oh, come on now, AEW, Like, it's like when you watch the news and you're like, okay, this is all fake. It doesn't matter what news you turn on. All the news is just people you constantly, all these politicians. Doesn't matter. They're all just full of, they're all not going to do this. They say some might do more than others, but they might line their pockets and doing, it's all. So it's like, we need our to at least be palatable. You know what I mean? At least use Vaseline, if you're gonna do me back there I mean, guys, like, right? It's all we're saying. It's all we're asking for. Put a little salt on that before you serve it up piping hot, So, hey, that's all I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, and you can't blame Corey for just wanting more wrestling. But if we're gonna debate, if you're gonna just sit there and go, AEW's not doing bad. And it's like, yes, they are, though, dude. They are. And this is why. It's the thing you like. So that's why people get so defensive, guys. They feel personally attacked because the thing they like. And, like, we're not trying to judge. That's my whole thing, right? It's like the Glizzies convo, right? Remember we brought up the Glizzies and people were getting triggered. And I was like, mustard on a Glizzy's blasphemous. But I'm not going to, like, judge you and hate you and get tribalist over if you like ketchup on a Glizzy, although that is disgusting. And we were right, guys. The Kingdom got a win. That's 1-0. But like, people feel personally attacked, and I don't ever want to shame, like, oh, you like this thing, unless that thing's like a sicko, disgusting thing. And that's what these sickos are doing. They're making it this gross, disgusting thing, right? And Tony Khan's making it like, but that's not also why we go, like, I don't care if you love AEW more than WWE. I'm never going to be like, well, you're dumb for that. It's just that if you spend your whole day being like, AEW, man, the Fed, blah, 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 da. No, then I reserve the right to point out objectively why what you're saying is false. Because even if I love AEW more than anything in the world, I can still admit WWE's kicking ass. Just like when AEW was first on the scene, I openly admitted, and I'll argue to this day, that AEW was better than WWE at that time. It was fresh, it was new, it was exciting. We were seeing moves you didn't see all the time. The houses were packed. The show was good too. They were doing weigh-ins. They were doing all this different stuff. Cody couldn't fight for the belt. They had all these compelling stories. And now
the best guys, Tony Khan. The best guys, Tony Khan.
They just want to run big buildings. They're way too focused on, we have to compete with WWE. We got to be WWE light. We got to copy old WWE TV angles because we didn't figure out how to use drones first, and I'm a billionaire. And my dad probably got me one for Christmas, and that's why I didn't even think to use one in wrestling. Because it's just, and I have whatever I want. I have a Cybertruck, 3 of them, or whatever. I'm just talking. But, Tony Khan's like, ooh, toy. That's like Deonna Purrazzo I brought up earlier. So we point these things out, and I get you want wrestling, but that does not make it a better show. It doesn't mean it's doing good. It doesn't mean it's actually number 1 on cable. Doesn't matter that you want to flip the key demo, the overall rating, this blah, blah, blah. None of that matters. Ultimately, if you want to talk about what's better, how do we quantify what's better? Who's paying the more tickets to see it? Oh, is Taylor Swift the best singer? I mean, no, there's probably an opera singer who can technically, on a technical level, sing the best. But I argue in WWE, no wrestlers in AEW are better at wrestling than anyone in WWE, maybe Danielson. But the reason he's great is because he could go in WWE and have a WWE match tomorrow and get it over to the masses. Or he can come bleed in this indie and do whatever. That's what makes him so great. Okay? But I'm sorry, like, just Cody Rhodes, based off his psychology alone, washes everyone. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter about flips. Like, athleticism's great. Rollins tomorrow could go do a 630. I promise you he could do a 630 like Ricochet or a shooting star. He doesn't need to do that. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of working. That's what pro wrestling is at its core. It's like, we need to work a shoot here, brother. We need to get heat, work a shoot. You know what I mean? It's so simple. So Anyways, I just went off here. I just went off ranting and raving, but let's get back into this here. This dude wants wrestling when he tunes into a wrestling show, which is fine. And Gareth, too, he is like a tribalist kind of dude, but he's not like too overly gross. He is just like a big WWE fan. You know what I mean? But he's going to hate no matter what, you know, like, yeah, like no matter what, he's just not going to be a fan of AEW. So you're just not going to be a fan of WWE. So just even crossing each other's paths, it's like, just ignore each other. You know what I mean? Because you're seeing a lot of people do it now. Like they're flipping around. They're like, here's the thing, man, your boy Phil here, I could just go full blown AEW hater and get 20K followers tomorrow. You know, not tomorrow, but like if I went full blown like WWE hater, I like, you know what I mean? If you go full blown either way, but when you try and be objective and honest and called it and really enjoy, like I just enjoy pro wrestling. I'm sure you guys can tell that. So I try and extrapolate the good. I'll sit through some bad. You know what I mean? But it's like WWE made me do that for years too, but I still wanted to enjoy high. It's not like when WWE was Dolph Ziggler still wasn't the best wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in the world. You know what I mean? It's not like they didn't have the highest level, best working guys. And why we're seeing that now when they're able to let loose. It's not like Sheamus wasn't a high level wrestler just because wrestling was bad then, or MVP when wrestling was getting all PG just because, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like John Cena's a bad wrestler. He still washes everyone in the world. You know what I mean? As far as like putting on a match with anyone and getting over and having the crowd react and being over, like, you guys know what I'm saying. So it's not like just because the product was bad, these wrestlers were bad. So I'm still watching WWE, like hanging on with a thread then too. It's happening to AEW now and they don't want to accept it. They just don't want it. They just can't handle that. Like, no, this is the same we were given WWE, except now there's a criticism of like, well, WWE wasn't doing these crazy flippy ass matches, but they were baby watered down matches. Now they're not watered down. We're seeing strap matches. We're seeing guys bleed. We're seeing them innovate. We're seeing more flips. We're seeing, you know, because the flip is good, man. It is good. We're seeing more like powerhouse. We're seeing guys be able to do moves that maybe like a destroyer that maybe they couldn't do before. No pile drivers, kid, you know, like all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, you just have to be objective about it. And that it is what it is, man. I'm going to call it like I see it. And I'm never going to change my stance on those things. But you're seeing a lot of people like just sort of move. The goalpost keeps moving about what's to happen. I think AEW, we're going to talk about it in a bit, but they're adding a show called Shockwave, or there's some extra AEW coming out. We're going to talk about in a bit. All Out has started, guys. But anyways, though, I ranted. I went off on these two dudes, but yeah, so Garrett says yes, because WWE is going to change their $1 billion half a century format to please niche viewers like yourself. And they have changed their format, but it's to please the majority and the niche. That's what WWE's doing. They're cooking and serving up the niche and the casuals, whereas AEW's so focused on like a vocal minority on Twitter. And that's like what Hollywood did for a long time, and look what happened. And then look what they did with Deadpool. They just start making good movies again. And it's like, great, look what happens, you know, when you just make a good movie and you don't try and preach today's societal issues, you know, that high schoolers are going through I'm trying to watch Hocus Pocus 2. You know what I mean? I want to hear about the patriarchy. You know what I mean? It's like, I just want to watch a goddamn movie about witches. You know what I mean? So it's like now when they go away from that, look what happens. Oh my God, Hollywood's bouncing back. They're making all these awesome movies. You know what I mean? And it's the same with wrestling. They did adapt, but what Gareth is saying here, he just means like the basics of wrestling. Everyone gets away from that. It's just the fundamentals. I'm putting a poll in the chat. Who do you guys think is going to win, MJF or Jack Perry? Poll is coming in the chat. But it's the fundamentals. It's the psychology. All of those things, the storytelling, which is the most important, right? Especially if you're going to be on TV. Why are you on TV if you're not going to tell stories? TV is just to tell people stories in the news, right? And watch sports. So wrestling is all three of those things. You have the news, you have sports, you have stories. They're just like, no, we're just going to do fake sports. It's not going to work. And you're not even doing sports because real fighting doesn't work this way. But who do you think will win this grudge match? So a poll is in the chat here, guys. I'm throwing it up. MJF or Daniel, I will call him Dick Wiggler. We'll just call him that. And yeah, let's start the poll. And you guys vote. Let me know what you think. You guys know who Dick Wiggler is too. And yeah, they chant with it too. MJF like LA Knight. Garcia just jumps him from behind, no entrance, with his skinny legs out. Like, bro, wear pants. He has to wear pants. And does he have... Oh, he's got his head bandaged up. At least he's selling it. I was going to say, hopefully not another eye-patched guy in AEW. But yeah, if you want 20-minute copy... So this is what Gareth has a great point about. If you want 20-minute copy-paste matches with no build, AEW is the option for you. And that's the truth. These flippies, it's all copy-paste like we know it's going to happen. And I love MJF when he does his gear like this, when he just wears like just brown with his logo on it, or just red, or it's very classic. He wore like Hulk Hogan in the UK. Brilliant, you know? I don't like when he gets all whatever. That's me being an aesthetic mark again. Phil Marks. Yeah, that's just it though. In AEW, it's like every week, you know, there's going to be like those long matches aren't special because you just know every match is going to be this long copy paste match. And he's right about that. And in WWE, it's like on SmackDown, we had Giovanni Vinci get rolled up in 3 seconds. And now everyone's like, what the man? People aren't happy backstage. I don't know. Pop my household. We were like, oh, he just was, you know, this big debut and he just got rolled up like an idiot. And I thought it was great, man. We're going to see what comes from that. Joe Hendry just got thrown out of the Battle Royal, fought for the world title. I'm not saying Vinci's going to be in the world title, but build him up for LA Knight. This Italian guy who wants the U.S. title. You know, like there's a story right there. At least it's a story. At least it's something to talk about. So, yeah, this guy also tagged him in it. But I called them out. They blocked me. Isn't it funny how he never says nothing about AEW? And, yeah, behind their back. They blocked me for calling them out. They're awful people who make their entire personalities wanting everyone who works for a wrestling company to lose their jobs, which I could see that perspective too. Like if you want AEW to go out of business, that will be good for the indies for a bit. But it won't be good for the wrestling business, you know? Oh, come on now, Phil. That's not very fair. A healthy AEW is healthy for the pro wrestling business. Oh, come on now, Eric. But it's yeah, it's not good if they go away. But it also isn't good how they're inflating prices. I do believe that if you're giving, we talked about it on the show, if you give Garcia $750,000, let's say, to wrestle a year, that's up. If you give him $500,000, it's crazy, you know? So I do see how that the indies over, and if other companies like TNA and all that over, but Tony Khan doesn't care about that because he's just a Tony McKhan. But yeah, screw Gareth, Junkie, Jobber, and Counselor. They're all horrible, okay? And see, these guys go to war. You know what I mean? I would have Corey Brennan on the show right now, you know? And he could call me horrible right to me. But I don't, I'm not out there. Like, I don't know. I don't think Corey's out there grifting. I think he just really believes in AEW, da-da-da. But you could say it's a grift to just get behind that. Like, the spin, right? If you get behind the spin they do, I get it why other people are going to go to war with you over that. And this guy makes the show all the time. So I don't know. That's my point on it. And I disagree with Corey like 99% of the time as well, but you should name drop those people you think are horrible. Why are you telling behind their back? You just moved the goalpost. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't block Corey. He never blocked me. And we've never had even really cross words, you know, he's just on the show. And I typically do not agree with him. D Loves Wrestling's coming on. So Neckbeards posted this about Nothing 12. If you've actually attended an AEW show, there's no way you can honestly say their fans don't smell like dog IRL. And that's because there was a fake story that came out about like, oh, AEW making it mandatory that fans wash themselves, you know, before they come to an AEW show, which whether that's true or not, like, how you can't be mad if that's a real thing, man. Like, it shouldn't. People got to know to bathe, wash if you have hair anywhere on your body, put something on it, you know, like before you go to one of these shows. That shouldn't even have to be said. But I guess it was a fake news report and I didn't believe it. Even just seeing it, I was like, there's no way they actually did this. But I don't know. Just everyone should know that. But it's a funny joke. Like if that joke triggered you, then there's a reason why. We have Drain Bamager who says Adam Cole has two choices. And this is back in 2021. He says, 1, guaranteed good use in AEW. Be a megastar, reunite with old friends, and be co-workers with your girlfriend. Now just think about in hindsight how that all
The best
played
guys,
out.
Tony Khan.
So, like, I don't mean to laugh at Adam Cole. I love him, but he isn't used good in AEW. He was a little bit at the beginning there. He's injured as he's not a megastar. His value's gone down for sure. Reunite with your old friends. Okay, you got to do that, but then Fish left, and be with coworkers with your girlfriend. Apparently she left him, or there's whatever going on there. So I don't know, man. I don't mean to speculate, but damn, that kind of sucks for Adam Cole. This Garcia MJF match, guys, is literally a WWE style match. So I actually am not mad at this. I'm not going to lie, but I really don't like Garcia, and the crowd's not into it because no one likes Garcia. They have to understand this. And now Garcia's got color in the opening contest. So there's a cage match later. Oh, no, but it's color and a cage. You just stepping on your own dick, Tony Khan. But Drain Damager goes on to say, stay on a show watched by 700,000 people on average or worse, get called up and labeled short by Vince. Seems pretty easy decision to me. Now you look at WWE, you have the LWO, you have Carmelo Hayes being featured prominently, who Adam Cole would be featured prominently. He's a Triple H guy. AEW's watched by 600,000 people regularly. NXT's about to beat them and go to CW and beat them worse. And Vince is gone. So this guy took a complete and utter L. Fucking StreamYard, play the sounds. I mean, if I had to choose between Adam Cole and Christian, I'd choose Christian too. Oh, cringy wrestling stuff. Group is private, so I have to screenshot. Something actually happened. This is like some AEW group. And this guy goes, here's my point, guys, and listen to me. There is no evidence. Or no, this is a trippy conspiracy WWE page, right? So this guy goes, here's my point, guys, and listen to me. There is no evidence that shows Owen Hart died by falling to his death. Oh my God, chat. Can you guys believe this? There is no video. Yes, there is. There is no fan that can tell you they were there and saw it happen in front of them. Yes, there's plenty. I'm telling you, it's either Owen faked his death or Owen did die, but he died at home and WWE is using his name to make money. Until I see the video, I refuse to believe he died by falling in a WWF ring. WWE is not real. Remember that it's all stories. But to be fair, there's no reason to fake his death, so Owen did die, but not in a WWF ring. Oh my God. He died at home and they created the story of the ring and wrestlers are playing along. Show me the video of him dying. Where's the evidence? No video, no eyewitnesses from fans. It's all a lie.
You what?
My word, guys. This is what we're dealing with. I guarantee he watches AEW, bro. Guarantee. Drain Bamager makes the show again. Garrett says bro gave up on year 3. So yeah, Damager goes, just remember in this war, WWE doesn't have Austin or Rock to save them, and AEW won't make the same mistakes WCW did. Not even close. The next 3 to 5 years are going to be fun. He said that on my birthday in 2021. What a good little treat. What a little gift for me. Oh my God. I appreciate it. And then he goes on to say, this is 3, he didn't even make it, or 3 years later, whenever this is from, he goes, I wish these annoying Fed stands would shut up about ratings and just stick to bootleg and the company they dick wrong. Like, I'm serious. I've had enough of it. Why do you continue to hate on professional wrestling? I don't fucking get it. OMFJ. I need to sit down. I feel sick. My appetite is gone and my day is ruined. What a little bitch. Oh, man. And they're making the same mistakes, and they have The Rock back, and Stone Cold's like, I'll come back at this Mania. And then we got him melting down before 3 to 5 years are up. Brilliant. This is Meltzer said what? Replying to AR Gold, duck. You duck, quack, quack. 2 days before the first Wembley show last year, Thurston put out the new latest, this time official, unofficial, new until the next real WrestleMania 3 attendance. So, yeah, he does this every year. WrestleMania 3's true attendance. That's what I was saying before about Thurston. You know, I didn't realize. This show made me realize, like, what the going on with that dude. So here we go. Here's a sicko, and this is a celebration of the IWC as well, this sicko. And I don't know if you guys want to make fun of or celebrate this guy. I won't make fun of him. He could be like, we don't know if this guy has like some sort of challenge or so. You know, you guys know what I'm saying, right? We're trying to be cool and show everybody respect.
Blueprint, yeah, seems true. Let me teach you. Doubters try to defeat you. Haters will try to repeat you. Don't let it beat you. Nah.
Mercedes is a terrible rapper too. If that's her, let's listen to the song. And is that Mercedes rapping?
Blueprint, yeah, seems true. Blueprint, yeah, seems true.
Blueprint, yet seems true. I think that's what she said.
Let me teach you.
Let me teach you.
I was trying to defeat you.
I was trying to defeat you.
Try to repeat you. Don't let it
Haters trying to repeat you. Don't let it beat you.
Nah.
Terrible. That's terrible, man. That is terrible at rapping.